What's up, YouTube? This is Nerd Pandemic back with episode 4 of Nerd World, my single player vanilla survival world. And I'm actually starting this recording before I even start editing the previous episode because I have an 8-week cram class in microeconomics starting up next Monday, and I want to try to work a little bit ahead. What I've done is I've made a compass, and we are going to go find our original world spawn. The reason for this is because that's where I want to locate my iron golem farm, my sugarcane farm, and my creeper farm. As long as we make them small enough, they shouldn't cause too much lag, but the world spawn is constantly loaded, which means that whatever we build there will constantly be loaded and working. So we'll just have a constant supply of iron, gunpowder, and sugarcane for paper, no matter where we are in the world. And it looks like we found it right here. These are the spawn chunks. I don't know the range of the spawn chunks, but we don't need a super huge area. So right around here is where we're going to locate our iron golem farm, our creeper farm, and our sugarcane farm. So I think we'll start out by just clearing out a bunch of this forest. So I forgot to hit the record button for the last segment where I went from spawn to that village that we found in the first episode because it was pretty close by. I had my elytra, so like it was nothing to find it. It's real close. We located that, and then we came back to base, and we were gathering up these old minecart rails and powered minecart rails and redstone blocks so that we can have what we need without having to build it anew to go and get the villagers that we need for the iron golem farm onto our spawn. I don't quite remember if I explained it earlier, but we want to have those farms at our spawn because that means it'll constantly be loaded in. It'll constantly be working, and we'll be gathering iron. Even if it's a small scale farm, we'll be gathering iron and eventually gunpowder from the creeper farm that we're going to have, and sugarcane from the sugarcane farm that we're going to have over there, constantly, regardless of where we are in the world. And it shouldn't cause too much lag because they'll still be pretty small scale farms. But that'll give us what we need for iron, which will be involved in a lot of other builds, and also gunpowder and paper for our rockets so we can get around really easily. But right now, I'm going to gather these up, and I'm going to gather up some other materials that we'll need for the iron golem farm at first, and then I'll get back with you on the site and start the building process. And we're back with some materials. So the design that I'm going for the iron farm is going to be one done by Waddles. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with him if you're watching Minecraft content. So we're gonna build it at a 20 blocks high up in the air. We've got some scaffolding to facilitate that. We've got cobblestone building blocks and a stone cutter. And we've got 3 beds, 3 workstations, some glass, some magma blocks. We have some name tags of famous inventors and artificers. The zombie in the middle is going to be Da Vinci because he kind of inspired the rest of them. Not directly inspiring Urza, of course, from the Magic the Gathering universe, one of the first planeswalkers, and also one of the best artificers known in that universe. But the creators of Urza, I'm sure, were inspired by Da Vinci because it was, of course, Urza who created the ornithopter in that universe, which was, of course, based off of a Da Vinci invention. Then we have Nikola Tesla. I'm sure you all know of him. And Tony Stark, who was also an inventor and, pretty much makes iron golems. These 3 will be our villagers, and Da Vinci will be our zombie that scares them into making us some golems. Then, of course, we have some other knickknacks that we'll need. Here's the rail system that we're going to need to get the villagers over here, and also to create our item catching system. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to work from the bottom up, starting with the item catching system. I want to build it a few blocks high so that we can have multiple chests that'll be able to fill up. Maybe starting with like a 4-tier chest system. So let's grab our chests here. And let's just go right here. Any old spot is good, really. There are our chests, which will hold the items that drop down. Now we need hoppers. And let's just go ahead and test this out. Just drop one of them in there. And it should end up on the bottom chest. Excellent. See? All's good. So we shouldn't miss any items with this design right here. Let's throw on a minecart. And that should be enough power to just keep it going indefinitely. Now the drops are going to happen in this 3x3 area right here. Or this 3x3 area. One of the two. Pick these up. Let's see. So now we need to build up another level, and we need to put magma blocks on top of this. Alright, so we've got a good killing box. We've got our item catching system. And we've got it lit up. And now we want to build the beginning of the farm, of the actual like spawning area, at least 20 blocks up from the surface. How is it already night again? Jeez. Alright, so once we get the water system in, we're going to have them flow into these signs. They're going to fall down onto the magma, like so. They'll die, they'll drop their items. The items will get caught and put into this chest. Now we need to create the system that spawns them. Alright, at this point I need to take another look at that tutorial that Waddles posted earlier this year, or last year even, I think. And kind of figure out where to go from here. So I will be back to work on this. Oh, it's been quite a chore, but we finally got the hardest part done. We've got our villagers in their little bedroom areas. They're all named. There's Tony Stark. There's Urza. And down here is Nikola Tesla. And then we also have the zombie, Da Vinci. I did mess up the alignment a little bit, but it's going to be easier to rebuild the killing chamber than it is to move this whole contraption with everything already inside of it. Now I just need to finish the rest of the platform, the spawning platform for the golem. Get rid of all this junk. There's our minecart track that we used to move the villagers from a village over there. Ironically, a different village from the one that I thought it was going to be that we found when we first started this world. No idea where that one is at this point, but we got what we needed from there. And now we're going to finish up the spawning platform. That's how we got the zombie up there. And then we're going to redo the item catching system. And I've got a pretty fun idea for decorating this thing. It's going to be a bit of a mega build, but that's going to be a surprise for later. But for now, we just want to get it functioning at the moment, and then we'll worry about decorating it later. But I'm going to go ahead and finish that up, and I'll be back. All right. So we finally got everything worked out. We moved the kill chamber. We finished the spawning platform. If you want to see a more in-depth tutorial on how to do that, go check out Wallace's video. I'll link it in the description. But if I didn't mess anything up too bad, we should be ready to get this thing started. So we're going to knock out this block. Gonna knock out that block. And we're gonna knock out that block. The villagers should be freaking out right now. Looks like one of them just needs to like get down. They need to get down from their beds or something. So they can actually see it. I wonder if I destroy this piece of glass. Can the zombie get out if I do that? Can the villagers get out if I do that? The villagers can get out if I do that. He saw the zombie. I think we might just have to wait until nightfall to where they get into their beds and then back out, and then they'll see the zombie in the morning. So we'll just see what happens. For now, I'm going to destroy this platform. Collect all my scaffolding again. And we'll see if this thing works. Oh, it looks like they already spawned a golem. Oh, I guess it's working. So we're going to let this run for a while. I'm going to let it run for about a half hour and see what happens. Again, this will work regardless of where I am in the world. So I'm going to go take care of some other things and just see what the rates tend to be. So the Iron Golem farm has stopped producing entirely. Golems aren't even spawning anymore, and I think it might be because of this guy. For whatever reason, he's dressed differently. I can't tell if he has a profession or not. He doesn't have a gem on his belt or anything. These other two guys are behaving normally. They even sleep from time to time. This guy does not sleep. I've noticed, and so I think he might be a nitwit, which is not great. Maybe I don't know much about nitwits, but perhaps it means that he can't assist in spawning golems. But either way, I am going to get rid of him. I'm going to let him run out of here. Yeah, bye, dude. Get out of there real quick. But I've got everything set up to try and bring a new villager over here. You can just go away. Hopefully they won't be too mad at me for that. But I've got everything set up to bring a new villager over here, and hopefully that will work. Alright, so I've tried a few different things. None of these guys are pulling their weight. They've completely stopped spawning golems. They are sleeping at night. I've tried it with and without workstations. And this farm just isn't working. I've posted it. I actually tweeted Waddles about it to see if he might have any insight, and haven't heard anything back from him yet. He probably gets a lot of tweets at him regarding different things with his videos, so who knows if he'll even see it. And then I've also posed the question to one of the Facebook groups online that I'm a part of, Minecraft Adult Community. And people have been saying that they've had similar issues with the farm not working. And I've been getting some suggestions on what else what other tutorials I could try. I wonder if it might have something to do with the fact that I built it at spawn, but I remember very clearly I was on an SMP at one point, and granted, it was a snapshot of the 1.17 update, but they had built an iron farm at spawn, and it worked great. I came in there, and there were just stacks upon stacks of iron blocks already made up, just sitting there for anyone to use. So theoretically, I thought I could do the same thing in the single-player world, but who knows? That might be the issue, and I might just need to build one over by my base. So I'm going to explore those options, and I've started gathering materials for the creeper farm, trapdoors mainly, and I've started trying to find some cats. I did get to a village where there was a cat, and I tamed it, but it doesn't seem to want to follow me anywhere, so I'm not sure what's up with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my base, and I'm going to let loose my trading hall villagers in that little room so they can interact, and hopefully they will spawn a cat or two that I can start breeding up. and start gathering those for a creeper farm. If that doesn't work, we can still build just a regular mob farm. Um, and it'll be a lot less efficient, but it should still give us enough gunpowder if we use like a periodic water drainage system that I've also never built before, but seems pretty simple conceptually, to drop the mobs onto a killing platform to get their loot and all that. We can build one of those, and it should still give us enough gunpowder to service our needs since we're only a single player world. On top of a few other materials like bone, string, and spider eyes and all that stuff. So hopefully that'll work. None of them should get loose. And once we have some cats, and you know, they might even spawn some iron golems at some point, which I'll have to take care of somehow. But once we have some cats, we'll be able to tame them and get started on breeding them up for a creeper farm. So I'm going to work on that and see if I can get our iron farm situation worked out. Our base is coming along, and yeah, well, we're doing just peachy so far. We have still a little bit more gunpowder in one of these chests. I'll eventually get this organized. So we should be okay on rockets for now, and of course plenty of sugarcane. But yeah, let's see if we can work out these kinks. All right, I think we might have fixed it. What I did was I added a daylight sensor so that at night the workstations will rise up and the villagers will be able to sleep in peace. What this means is that the farm will not work at night, but that's better than it not working at all. They're currently spawning golems again. I guess they just needed to sleep a little bit longer than they were. Previously, they were popping into the beds a little bit, like for a split second each time, which according to Wallace's video was enough, but it might not have been. I worked out this redstone circuit. It took a little bit of trial and error, and a better redstone person probably could have done a more compact job, but it works as intended, so that's all that matters to me. Oh, and it just turned to night, so these guys should all go to bed soon. Now the workstations are back down. The villagers are panicking again, and we should get a golem. There's one right now. All right, so we're going to take down the scaffolding. Hopefully that will continue to work. We've got a halfway decent amount of iron so far. And now we need to solve the issue of creating the creeper farm, which will and won't be a simpler build. I'm currently having issues with cats. I did find another village with another cat, and I tamed it, but it still won't teleport to me for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I guess we'll just have to try and see if our villagers will give us any cats. And if not, then we're just going to have to do some sort of system of water to flush the creepers down to the killing area, which will be a bit more of a complicated process, and it'll be more redstone intensive, but it's still a pretty simple tutorial. At least we won't have to deal with villagers and all that stuff. We'll just have to worry about setting up the creeper spawn areas properly, and like the water flushing system isn't even necessary because they'll wander off of whatever platform they're on eventually, and drop down and die. It'll just be a super slow farm. So I do want to have a little bit of efficiency to it. So I'll either do cats if I can get them to work, or I'll do the flushing system, which will be, again, a little bit more resource intensive. We'll build it somewhere else here in the spawn area so that it can constantly be working. And then we'll build our sugarcane farm, which will be the simplest of the 3 farms that I'm building today. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it so far. And like, it was a struggle at first. I was getting a little worried I wasn't going to be able to complete this project in time to get this episode out, but it's working out. And yeah, it's a big, ugly, garish thing, and I'm gonna have to figure something out with with the build I have in mind, to decorate it, to make sure the daylight sensor continues to work. But I think it'll be all right. I might just have to extend this platform a little bit, and like add a repeater or something. But we'll find a way to make it look all nice and pretty and all that. So I'm going to continue on and see if I can either figure out a cat situation, or just bite the bullet and do the more complicated version of the farm where I just flush the creepers like they're on the toilet or something. And either way, I'm gonna have to gather some more resources. I've got enough trapdoors. I'm probably gonna need a couple of shulker boxes worth of cobblestone, because the creeper farm has to be both very high up and completely covered in order to work. So that's all going to take quite a bit of time. I'll probably run out of rockets by then, and I'll have to hunt down some creepers and make more just to finish the project. But after that, the sugarcane farm can be put pretty much anywhere here and should be a fairly simple build comparatively. It will be resource intensive as far as redstone, because I don't like doing the automatic slime block mass harvest kind. I'd rather do the modular kind that uses observers, and we'll just pop some sugarcane down as we go, and that'll take a massive minecart track and item collection system to be efficient. I did spend some time in a swamp to gather some slime balls so I can make those sticky pistons up there, so we've got a good amount of those for any future projects that we might need them for. But for now, we're going to get ourselves some cats. Hopefully they'll start working for us. But we'll get more fish. We'll see about getting a cat and breeding some more cats up. We'll need quite a few of them, because each layer of the creeper farm will require a cat to scare the creepers off the platform. And also, I like cats. I'm a cat person. I don't mind dogs, but cats are definitely lower maintenance, so I wouldn't mind having cats just all over the place in my village either. So I'll go mess with the villagers and see if they can spawn me a cat, and yeah, I'll be back. Oh look, a jungle. I am very far away from spawn, but I figured this would be a good place to find us a cat. I actually found a cat at a witch's hut earlier, and it was immediately blown up by a creeper. That same creeper got me down to 1 heart right after I tamed the cat, and then I was killed by a spider. So yeah, it was at night. I probably went a little too gung-ho on getting a cat, but here we should be able to tame an ocelot, and or at least a couple of ocelots that we can then breed, and hopefully they will be into the idea of teleporting with us wherever we go. And I've got the compass and enough rockets to get us back to spawn, probably just barely on the elytra, although maybe I can kill a few monsters down here to get a little bit of experience and repair the elytra. I'll probably grab those melons down there too for the villager trading post. But yeah, we are here to find a cat. We've already got bamboo from the last time we were in a jungle, but now we need to get some feline companionship in order to start a creeper farm. So that's what we're gonna do right now. And while we wait for dawn, because I don't want to get blown up by a creeper again right after I tame a cat, we're gonna kill some monsters so our elytra can be repaired and we can make the journey home. So we have a problem. As you can see, I have an ocelot before me in the jungle biome. And what is supposed to happen when I move around like this and shake my head, the ocelot should run away. When I feed it, if I were to sneak up to it holding a fish, it should slowly approach me. And if I don't make any sudden movements, I can feed it fish to try to tame it. There should be a 1 in 3 chance to tame this ocelot. I am trying to feed it fish right now, and it is not taking fish. So it's acting as if it was tamed, but it's not. Like, it'll follow me, but I can't make it sit. It's supposed to turn into a cat when it's tamed, but it's not. And it won't teleport to me or anything. So I think cats in this world that I've generated are just bugged, or maybe my Minecraft client is bugged or something, because it is not behaving the way it's supposed to. So it looks like cats in general just aren't going to be an option for our creeper farm, which is really unfortunate because I really like cats. So I'm just gonna head back to base and do the water flushing method, I guess. I'm gonna post about this on the forums and see if anyone can help me out, because like this should not be happening unless there's an update I didn't know about. But I've noticed the cats in the villages behaving similarly as well, where they would get tamed and they'd have the little collars on them, but they wouldn't teleport to me. At that point, though, I could still make them sit or stand up, but again, they won't teleport to me like they're supposed to, so I can't bring them anywhere without going on a huge long journey, and who knows if I'd even be able to breed them at that point, because I haven't been able to get two of them together yet. So yeah, and for the sake of expediency, we're going to go back to base, and we are going to build a flushing system type of creeper farm. And at this point, we might just make it a general mob farm, so that we can get some other drops from it, and it'll be a much simpler build at that point. Good news, everyone! I checked out the forums and found out two things. One, ocelots can no longer be trained. And two, I was probably teleporting too far for the cats to teleport to me. So I went back to the village. Another cat had spawned, aside from the one that I had tamed. I grabbed them both and flew slowly over here, so now they're at spawn. Okay, so I recorded a previous segment to this, but I had forgotten to plug in my headset so I could have mic audio. So that's not going to happen. But what I had explained in that segment was that I had started on the Creeper Farm Tower, 128 blocks into the sky, and on the survival world. I'm in a creative world right now because I was testing some configurations for a water funnel, making sure I have the right design. So let me show you how this Creeper Farm works, which I explained in the segment that I didn't end up recording audio for. So we have this platform, and from the center we come out 4 blocks, and then we do some diagonals, and we line it with trapdoors. And what the trapdoors do is they cause creepers to think that this is a solid block, and I put them on both sides just in case. And then we have a cat in the middle because creepers are scared by cats, so they'll run away from the cat off the platform. They run away from cats within 6 blocks of the cat. And then they drop down into this water funnel, which I had to play around with a lot to figure out how to get the flow right without creating source blocks. And so they should all flow down through the middle in what will presumably be a kill zone or a kill box underneath to collect their items. So that's the basic premise of a creeper farm. And then you can build as many layers as you want, at least up until build height and such. And then the reason why you build it 128 blocks above the ground is so that you don't get any spawns underneath it, so your creeper farm can run at maximum capacity. So you can see this thing in action. The creepers are running away. They're all scared of the cat because cats are cool and creepers are not. And they all flow down. Sometimes it takes them a little while, but like this should be a very efficient creeper farm, a very simple one to do. And before we get back to our creative world, or to our survival world, I am going to give you guys a little treat. Ready? Oh dear. So the farm's finished, and just in time, really, because I am down to two whole rockets. So yeah, this is sorely needed. It's already started to work a bit. I don't think anything's going to spawn while I'm down there at the storage system. And I still need to get to the top and place these slabs so that monsters don't spawn at the top of the farm. I think I can make it with just 2 rockets. Yeah, see, there's a creeper up there, and that's going to be bad. Alright, so slabs are non-spawnable blocks, meaning monsters cannot spawn on top of them, but they have to be placed on the bottom half of the block space in order for that to work. Alright, so I'm going to spend some time AFKing here to get a little more gunpowder. Let's see how it's doing right now, in fact. Yeah, I'm going to AFK for a little bit so we can build up a nice stock of gunpowder, and I think a full shulker box of rockets will be enough to last us a good long while. And then we'll get started on our sugarcane farm. So we're back with supplies for our sugarcane farm. As you can see, I'm going to do 128 units of sugarcane growth, which should give us plenty for paper for trading, paper for rockets, and so on and so forth. I have a bunch of cobblestone for the structural elements, and then I have some minecart rail stuff for item collection. And I can get wood while I'm there because it's surrounded by trees to make some chests for item collection. And the redstone for creating the circuits and all that. And a stone cutter in case I need to cut any of this down. So we're going to go and do that. I also grinded up a bunch of materials for firework rockets. The iron farm is doing great. We only need, I believe, 38 or 36 more blocks to create a full beacon. So we'll get to that at some point. And yeah, things are going great, and we are almost done with this episode. Creeper farm is working out just fine. I did notice that there are some spiders in there. And actually, there's a little hole in the wall there from when I was trying to observe things. I'm going to fix that real quick. I can just grab 2 of these in my AFK spot. There are some spiders that show up in this farm for some reason. I can't really be bothered to figure out why or where the issue is because the farm is still working. If I AFK here overnight, I'll probably still have enough gunpowder to last me for pretty much the life of this series, almost. But yeah, so we are going to head over to spawn. And we're going to make this sugarcane farm. And who knows, we might even have enough iron at the iron golem farm already to create our beacon, but it's not necessary right now. And finally, we have our sugarcane farm, the last farm that we are building today. It's not super duper efficient, but it doesn't need to be. It's already kind of working, and like that's a great amount of sugarcane for me. I'm happy with that. This will be working constantly wherever I am in the world because I built it at spawn. I like the design a lot, and I think it'll eventually go well with the design I have in mind for the iron farm, which I'll get to one day. But I think that's going to be all for today. I have my first D&D game to go to in years. It's been a long time, but I'm super excited. I will be playing a cleric inspired by the Warhammer 40k universe. So think the Spanish Inquisition meets the Crusades. It's going to be pretty intense and over the top. I could very well get party killed, but I'm totally okay with that. I've already spoken with the group and the DM and all that, and they're cool to be playing this type of character that will likely either get killed by the party or killed by some NPCs or get the party killed by some NPCs. You know, whatever. As long as everyone has fun. And I'm an experienced enough player to where I can kind of temper to make sure that I'm not like stepping on anyone's toes. But I'm super excited, and I'm super excited for what's next on this world. Now that I'm done with this build, we have everything that we need to kind of go off to the races. I'm going to organize some of my items and gather some materials for our first build, which will be the mountainside village that I'm going to build for our villagers. I've already got a design worked out that I was playing around with in creative. So I'm going to gather the materials for that, and we'll get started on that in the next episode. I hope you liked the video. Go ahead and leave a like and a subscribe, and leave a comment even. I want to be interacting with the community. If you have your own Minecraft builds that you want to show out, go ahead and link them in the comments. I'll take a look at them and let you know what I think. But that's all for now. Let's find our base somewhere around here. I am going to AFK overnight at the creeper farm to make sure I have plenty of gunpowder for the next phase of this world. I think I might be lost. Nobody panic. Here we are. Home sweet home. So yeah, next episode, we will have some materials gathered. I'll be doing a lot off screen, and I'll probably also do a little bit more work on the bonsai tree. I think it's time for it to get another tier now that we've gotten these farms established. But like I said, I'm going to be AFKing overnight at the creeper farm just to get a good amount of gunpowder. Let me know if you like this video, and I will see you next week.